This program has been made possible by the generous support of the Women's Foundation, the Ford Foundation, the McCormick Foundation, Zero Divide, the Stewart Foundation, the Nathan Cummings Foundation, and the California Endowment.
Hello everybody, I am Donnie.
Hey, I'm Jasmine A.
And what you're watching right now is yotv, and what we do is try to amplify the voices of young people in the Bay Area and beyond. And this episode is entirely surrounding deportation.
Yes, and our very close friend Josue went to El Salvador and spoke with 4 different deportees, and we're going to give you a glimpse into what he saw during his trip. So stay tuned.
Hey, so what's life like here for DPs? What's a DP?
Hard. DP, that's what we call it. That's our own code, you know? That's the code. Like, where you from? I'm a DP. Oh, you cool then. You cool. You going through the same thing I'm going through.
SF 3rd and Army at the skate park. We're hanging out here, and we're gonna take you to our first person that you're gonna meet personally.
Yes.
Fugitive,
or Frank is his given name. He was deported to El Salvador from Brooklyn, and now he's kind of a local celebrity in his neighborhood. He works in telecommunications, but never lost his like rapper swag. So check his story out.
Nah, you know what I mean? I got deported because I was selling drugs, you know? I ended up over here because my lifestyle was living, you know, fast way.
Where at?
On the Bronx, BX, White Plains, you know, Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Tell me about the experience of being deported. What was that like?
I mean, it's hard, man. It's hard. It's even harder to believe it. Sometimes I get up and I don't even believe I'm here. I haven't been happy since I've been here. People think I'm happy. I tell them I'm like a clown. I'm like a clown now because I smile a lot. But that's just my stilo, you know? I smile a lot, but on the inside, I want to change everything, but I can't. I'm not happy at all. I mean, people think I'm happy, I'm balling because I'm always fresh to death. But that's just how we do it. I mean, that's how everybody do it, you know what I mean? But nah, man, think it twice, man. I don't think nobody happy here. I'm happy for moments, but then when you look around, I just say I wish I was back in the States. You know, it's hard because, I mean, we're talking about a country where the war just happened over here, you know, like it's crazy over here. I mean, like they're still like so far behind, you know, they're still so far behind from where we come from, you know, like as far as like their family, how they grow up, how they want to raise their kids. And there's a lot of fronting over here. People be fronting, like they're so close-minded that they don't want to allow nothing new. They don't want, like if you got on baggy pants, I mean, what do baggy pants got to do with who you are? What do the clothing got to do with how you treat people? I'm scared of the cops more than the gangbangers. I'm scared of the police. Like me, I always get harassed. I'm used to it. I always get harassed because of my earrings, my change, the way I dress, and the way I talk. You know, plus I got tattoos too. But you know, that's the most difficult part. But at the same time, don't think, you know what I mean? It's love out here. It's a lot of people that came and made a big change. There's a lot of deported people that own businesses, car lots, computer centers, they teach English. I mean, it's a lot of people that's doing a lot of positive things. Like me, I'm doing my music thing. That's all I know. Rap, freestyle, you know what I mean? This is all I know, and hopefully this is what I'm gonna eat off, my music. We tune here, clubs be popping, son. We get it popping out here too.
So what do you do for work? What's your day job?
Oh, I got a job, trust me. I work at a call center, you know?
What call center? What do you do?
A call center is supposedly I'm in the States, but I'm over here in El Salvador.
So when somebody calls...
I do room reservations for hotels.
Like that?
When you call 1-800, just be like, thank you for calling, my name is Frank. What city may I book for you today? You can say London. You can say Atlantic City, Las Vegas. I mean, I do room reservation, flight service all over the world. Why? Because I speak English, and people over here don't speak English. And why? Because it's cheaper. There's a lot of companies over here sturging us. I mean, they straight taking advantage of everything. But what can you do? You're deported, you got tattoos, they're not gonna give you no job. You didn't go to school over here. You don't got no diploma. They say you went to school over here. They don't want to talk to you. That we're not bad. We make mistakes. Everybody do that. I mean, if I would have never been through this, I swear to God, if I can put hands in time back then, I would have never done what I've done, you know? Because life over here is hard. I mean, very hard. You got to watch out. Like, this ain't New York. This ain't LA. This ain't the United States, period. Like, gangbanging over here is serious, man. It is very serious. They're not just gonna do something to you. If you're in the neighborhood and they don't like you, they're gonna tell you either you move or we're gonna kill your whole family. They kill your dog, your cat, everything. So when you're listening to the rap people over there in the States, like we do this, no. You don't see that on the news over there. People getting chopped up. Over here, it's normal. It's normal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. People dying. And we're not talking about people, we're talking about children, our future. So I mean, like, you gotta take a look at yourself in the mirror and think about it, you know? What do I want for my country, you know? You over there, I'm over here. I was over there, hopefully you will never be here. 'Cause, you know, until we make a change. It's time to make a change, man. It's time to do something for our culture, you know? Raise our people different. Raise the children, because that's the ones that's going to bring all that up, is the children.
You have anything to say about the American dream?
Just live it, man. You don't got to be in America to live an American dream, dog. That's all I got to say. I can teach you how we do it out here. I mean...
So what dream are you living?
I'm living Martin Luther King's dream. I'm living Fidel Castro's dream. I'm living what you're dreaming. For the future, I want the kids to live what I dream about. I want them to see that I make all my dreams come true. No matter how I did it, how accomplishment, everything, but I did it.
The next individual you're going to meet is a young man named Alex, who did something very controversial when he was deported to El Salvador. He opened a tattoo shop. Now, they're very not well accepted in El Salvador, but somehow he's still making a living doing it, and it's what he loves to do.
So tell me about what it's like to have a tattoo shop in a place where tattoos are taboo.
It's rough. It's rough because I came to this country ignorant. I didn't know nothing about El Salvador. I barely knew any Spanish. You know what I mean? I didn't know nothing. I didn't even know I was Salvadorian until I was like 17 years old. You know what I mean?
What did you think you were?
I just didn't know. I thought I was Mexican. You know what I mean? And then I have to come to to a country where the tattoos are looked at so negatively, man. I mean, more than negatively. But I understand, because this country's been victimized, you know what I mean, by gangbangers and by, you know, thieves and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But it's all one vicious cycle, man. You know what I mean? People come over here to this country, they got a past, but that past, they can't leave it behind. You know what I mean? It's like they're carrying it on their shoulders and people are watching them and judging them for their past and not for the person they are now. But me, I was a little more blessed than the rest. I had an art, something that most people don't got. And that art, I used it because I came here and tattoos were bad, taboo. I named it taboo because of that. You know what I mean? Because everybody looked at tattoos and then they said, wow, you got a tattoo, you're a bad man. So what I said was, how can I try to change this? How can I fix this? You know what I mean? So I went and bought material. You know, first little money that I made on a good tattoo, I bought material, started selling it. I said, this is my pride and joy, because with this, I'm changing Salvadorian culture. Getting more people involved in the art, giving more people that are coming deported, same opportunity to come up like I did. You know, this right here is gonna help a lot of people, eh? Because more people are gonna tattoo, more people are gonna get tattooed. You know what I mean? And before you know it, someone's gonna come to a store with a tattoo and they're gonna look at him like, hey, it's not gonna matter. You know what I mean? So people can live right, you know, and a tattoo ain't gonna hold them back. You know, and by a simple act of selling a machine. I gotta deal here with people that are coming over here that got tattoos and they wanna cover them. I won't charge them. I do them, you know, because I hear all these stories.
You mean you cover them up? What's that called when you cover up a tattoo?
It's a cover up. Or you see someone comes up with a gang tattoo or something like that, and they say, look, man, this is what's holding me back. What can I do? Well, how about we put a little color in it? How about we cover it? We put a whole nother design on top of what you got, with art, with something real colorful, something that people can appreciate as art, and use that to transform something new. You know what I mean? It's not just covering it. You look here, that the name is hardly even there.
Yeah, you can't really see it.
And this is just the first layers. I mean, we get the first shade, the first tones. After that, we put the colors in there. And when we put the colors in there, the name and whatever you had back here, it's gonna be lost. It will never be seen again. You know what I mean? There won't even be a trace of it. There won't even be like somebody who look at it and say, oh man, you got a gang tattoo or anything like that. You know? Yeah, life is crazy, man.
So is it safe to say that you're loving your life here?
I'm loving my life because I'm making it work. You know what I mean? Because I accept things for what they are now. You know what I mean? I'm not fighting with myself. An internal battle that, man, I want that and I wish I had that, and not being happy with what I got. You know what I mean? Inner peace. You know what I mean? Having self-esteem. I miss my life in the States. I mean, I miss the States. I miss that culture. I miss that life. You know what I mean? But for what I got here, I'm loving life, man. You know what I mean? For what I got here, I can't complain. You know what I mean? And it wasn't easy either. You know, it wasn't easy. I fought for this, and shoot, you know, when you fight for something, when it costs you, you appreciate it. Someone gives you something free, you don't appreciate it. You know, it slips through your fingers, and you don't realize what good thing you got. But when you fight for it, then you say, ah, man, you know what? I understand.
Hey, so now we're gonna introduce you to Glenda, who's a mother with 5 children who was deported, but all her children are still in LA. So we're gonna get to hear her story and her talk about this experience.
Annie, how many kids do you have?
I have 5 kids.
So do you talk to them often?
Every time I get a chance to, yeah. About 2 times a week, I call home, talk to my kids, and I go on the MySpace too. Okay, my name is Glenda Urias Marisol. My age is 28 years old, and I'm from Zacatecolucas, and I got deported a month and a half ago for distributing cocaine.
Where at?
In LA, Los Angeles, California.
So what's life been like since you've been here?
Life has been hard. It's a drastic change from the United States lifestyle that I was used to. The hardest part of getting used to being here in El Salvador, I guess, for me, is being away from my family. The immigration doesn't care about nobody, about the kids, about the family that we're leaving behind. They're leaving people without fathers and mothers, and so that's hard on the government, because the government has to take care of those children and families that have nobody to win the bread for them. I think INS is being very unfair for some of the cases In my case, I understand the deportation because it was a high crime, but in some other cases, they have such pettiness and they're still deporting families. They don't know what's really doing to the families out there, the kids and stuff.
What does it do to the families?
It tears them apart. How are you gonna live without your mother? How are you gonna live without your daughter next to you, not knowing if your daughter's out here eating or if they're treating her okay? You can't sleep at night thinking about your kids, or our mothers thinking about us out here, you know, we can be in danger or other people could harm us or stuff like that. I don't think they sleep well at night as well as us. We don't sleep well thinking about them. So, I mean, it's really tearing families apart, in my opinion, what INS is doing. I think they should consider the cases and look over it. So maybe we could have another opportunity, or maybe deport us for a certain time, but then let us go back to our family after, I don't know, 5 years or so, you know? We learned our lesson. We know we committed a crime, but punish us for life away from our family, that's unfair.
And does your family know, like, what you go through?
No, I keep that to myself because I think it's hard enough for them already knowing that I'm here and for them to adjust with the change. But no, I pretty much keep that to myself or to some confidential friends that I have out there that I feel like I can lay it on them. But to my family, no. I can't tell them the truth. It's too hard for them.
And what's the truth?
The truth is that I don't want to be here. The truth is that I can't get used to living here. The truth is that I see other kids and I miss my kids. The truth is that I have so many skills and I can't use them out here because maybe my background of deportation, or maybe because I don't know the right people. So I can't get a job, you know? So I'm sitting here doing nothing, wasting my life away. And what good is that? That's the truth. Because it's hard. It's hard to be away from your family, and it's hard to be out here in a world that we know nothing about. Because it's a totally different world than what we're used to.
Is it safe here?
For the people who choose to live right, it's safe. But for the people who choose to come and have the mentality of, oh, I'm a gangster from LA, it's not gonna be safe. So you gotta throw that attitude to the side and humble yourself to a different environment. This is our country, but it's not where we're from, not where we've been raised. So don't come here with an attitude thinking that, oh, I'm from California. No, we're in El Salvador and we gotta play by their rules, not by our own. The good parts about El Salvador is, wow, it's my country and I'm 100% proud of where I'm from. And it has a lot of beautiful places, beaches, like the lagos, mucho ambiente, la gente is like really cariñosa. But overall our country is beautiful. I mean, it's nothing but green out here. The weather is killer, it's hot, but I mean, nothing that won't take away like a cold shower, so.
The next story ties kind of into tattoo culture again, where a young man named Smokey has never been to America but has all these 13th Street tattoos all over his body. It just kind of goes to show how American gang culture has found its way to El Salvador.
Por los mexicanos, pues los indios, es que nosotros queremos dar a entender que viene de lejos esta onda, pues va que es antigüedad, pues para nosotros. Ya las jainas, ¿me entendés? Los cholos y todo esto ya significa nosotros la raza, pues va toda la pandilla unida. Por lo menos aquí dice mi cultura, mira, va. Es donde nosotros nos queremos dar a entender y a conocer como pandilleros, va. Son ondas que nosotros las hacemos ya con una mente grande, ¿me entiendes? Va de tratar de explicar cómo somos nosotros. Yo por lo menos cada vez que hago un pintazo, va, yo le pongo 5 puntos. Los 5 puntos significan mi vida loca pero triste. Va. Muchas veces nosotros pasamos más preocupaciones, ¿me entiendes?, que diversiones ya por las situaciones de las leyes y lo contrario. ¿Va? Son cosas que se las explico para que ustedes sepan cómo es la situación actual. Pero sabemos que hay un Dios eterno, pues, y un grandísimo Dios que nos mantiene con vida. Sí, todo lo que han visto, ¿me entiendes?, son cosas que nosotros las hacemos inspiradas legalmente. por las situaciones que vivimos en esta vida, nada más por eso, porque sabemos de que nosotros no queramos, que tenemos una cultura que es de las pandillas, ¿verdad? Porque para nosotros es una cultura, y la otra onda es de que diariamente se viven situaciones de experiencia, ¿va? Y entre las mujeres, los hombres, ¿me entiendes? Como los cholos que les dicen allá en el norte, ¿va? Son cosas que nosotros similamos a eso, somos de eso, y creo de que en este momento ahí estamos viviendo en eso, ¿va? La cárcel, mujeres y peleas siempre se van a encontrar, pero la situación actual está más peor de lo que es.
También, esto también, los demás no están terminados. ¿Qué, mi amor? ¿No va a terminar usted, mi amor? Sí. Tal vez él tiene que ser que tal vez yo no lo he hecho, pero él lo va a hacer por mí. Porque él va a decir que yo soy el papá. Y él no se va a tatuar tampoco. No se va a tatuar como yo me he tatuado, ¿va? Pero entonces él lo va a hacer sin necesidad de tatuarse. Tal vez puede ser un abogado, un diputado, tal vez presidente, ¿va? Pero él va a ser. Esa es mi misión. ¿Va?
El futuro.
El futuro, este es el futuro de la 18, ¿va? Este. ¿Va? Porque somos como somos. Pero yo entiendo, ¿va? Que él no quiero que sea él. No quiero que sea él como yo soy. Pero si es él como yo soy. Vamos a ir abajo. Dios lo va a perdonar igual que a mí tampoco. El gordo al grado.
So we started off by showing you some of Josue's experience when he went to El Salvador. Now we're going to show you what his trip actually led to, which was an exhibit called Los Disappeared, where he captured all of the people we introduced you to today and that shared their stories with you. And these pieces really capture the essence of the stories. So check that out next.
So basically, every single one of these paintings has it's got a story, and that's the only reason really why I even bother doing a show, because I really believe in these guys. I really believe in their story, and it's also it's a history. It's my history. It's the history of my country. I could easily be any of these guys. So this guy right here, you know, he's been he was deported. He grew up in foster care. Didn't know that he was even a Salvadorian until he got deported, and you know, he makes his living now doing tattoo art. So this is Alex Cornejo, and he's the owner of Taboo Tattoo. This guy right here, his name is Fugitivo, which is Spanish for fugitive. And basically, you know, where the other guys bring kind of a California flavor, this dude's bringing kind of a Bronx, New York flavor to Central America. So all the deportees, they bring their subcultures with them. So this guy, he's happening to bring in some reggaeton, papi chulo type, you know, daddy Yankee flavor to El Salvador. So he's also, he's kind of a ladies' man. He's kind of a really comical guy, but he's also kind of a tragic guy. So if you watch the video, he talks about everything, you know, his life and what brought him to where he's at. This is Glenda. Glenda is a mother of 5, and she basically when she got deported, her kids were left motherless. So I will speak of the symbolism on this one. The children's faces are blurry because her perception of her kids and her kids' perception of her will be blurry because of the way that they're not close up together. They haven't grown up with their mother. And I mean, whatever the crime was, it's really horrible to be tearing up families. And my heart really goes out to her. But I also feel, that she's a happy and joyful person. This guy right here is a participator of, LA gang culture. You see, he got an 18 on his arms and face, but there is no 18th Street in El Salvador. So, you know, even the street gangs have been deported. So I wanted to talk about that. And I also want to talk about how, you know, there's these laws, hard hand tactics that go on and are set out to crush and destroy young people who are participating in gangs or even just look like they are. So I just think it's unfair. I think it's terribly unfair what's happening. And it's a story of my generation. So I really feel the conviction about it, you know? This is just a self-portrait, and it's basically just me as the traveling I don't know, the traveling artist.
Sweet. So you'll always be in there now.
Thank you. Let me take a picture. Hey, Walter, she helped keep me in school, bro, in high school. She kind of put me onto Yo in journalism as an idea.
Oh, it's your fault.
I'm trying to raise money for a project called the Ceiba Americas Project, and what that entails is just creating art as violence prevention. Like, it's been working here in Oakland. I've been doing it in Oakland, and it's functional, and I think it can help with a little bit of enthusiasm and a little bit of just art hunger, which exists already in Central America. It can work in Central America, and it has worked. So I just got back from a trip in October where we created a very large mural at the site of a massacre with young, at-risk youth. Yeah, there's photos of it right here. It's all about bringing art to the kids that really kind of don't have it, you know. It's all about art on walls, murals, art, you know, painting. So if you look here, the kid's wearing a hat that Estria drew on. We got him working with a can. It's the first time he worked on a can, and he was instantly addicted, the same way I was. So I just want to show that people try to make these folks look like monsters. I want them to people look at them and see that they're artists. You know, this guy, he works on these all day, and he has his girlfriend sell them in the streets because he can't come out with his face all tattooed like that. He'll get killed. This guy right here is explaining his symbolism, his art. You know, it's all California stuff. And I want to talk about why is California art showing up in El Salvador, you know? Because it was deported, that's why. So it's a little bit of everything here. A little bit of everything. You know, I think it defies death, you know. Regardless of whether I do it, regardless of who does it, I think art and creativity defy destruction and death. And I think in places like Central America, places like Haiti, places in Africa, places in the Philippines, Southeast Asia, you know, this is not just a Salvadorian thing. This is it's happening across the board to a lot of different immigrant groups. And I think regular people have the strength to get up and do something about it. So I think if you can, whatever medium you have, you know, you should do something about it. And I'm not coming from a place where, you know, I'm nagging anybody. I'm coming from a place where I think it could just happen, you know. So I'm just grateful for the opportunity. I'm grateful to the gallery, 20 go to 10, and I'm glad my mom's here. I'm glad yotv is here. I'm glad we have pupusas. We got pupusas here for everybody, so salud.
I hope you guys enjoy this episode, but now we gotta bring it to a close. Hope you learned a lot of good stuff about deportation and the actual faces behind these huge numbers. If you want more voices of or things like this, go to youthoutlook.org. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Bye.
Holla.